Speaking next on the legend, George Darko, we have celebrated radio and TV personality, artist manager, and a man who has worked his way in the industry. Of course, one of the finest stage MCs ever. The one and only Kofi Darko. Hi, KOD. It's good to have you
on
online.
How you doing, AJ?
Kofi, it's good. Thank you so much for taking time to join us.
And thank you very much for the music and a great show every morning.
Of course, with pleasure. Do you? Oh, that's heartwarming to know. Thank you so much, KOD. Now, I'll speak to you from the presenter point of view, because you were on air and have been on air for over 20 years. Yes. You have seen the transition of the Ghanaian music from the Boga High Life days all the way through. You served under the feet of some of the greatest in the industry. Now, do tell about, firstly, the Boga High Life genre pioneered by people like George Darko, and how it sort of took over Ghanaian music, and as well now speak specifically to George Darko and his impact in the industry.
Okay. I'm sure you know by now that George Darko used to play with the military band. Ghana Armed Forces, traveled everywhere with them. And then after the 1979 coup, most of the bands, disappeared from the scene because of the curfew. Yeah. So most of them traveled outside Ghana. George Darko, people like Charles Amoir made it to Germany. And that's when they met musicians like Bob Fission. And there's a very popular producer called Bodo Steiger, who produced many Ghanaian songs, most of the great songs from Daddy Lumba in the early days. Nana Tofo, most of the great songs from Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Amachi Dede, countless people. You know, he had an influence in their music. Wow. So George went there, played with these white people, and that's how Boga High Life music, was actually born. It was just a fusion of our traditional music, High Life as we know it, and then the funk from the 1970s and 80s. I mean, if you listen to the instrumentation, you can hear that.
Yes. One of the songs I played has a very unique distinction to some Michael Jackson. Yep.
The only thing that makes a difference is the traditional guitar or the instrumentation. The high life strings that's played. I think that's about the only thing that makes a difference. It's true funk music with the high life strings, and then the music being sung in key. That's the only difference about what makes Boga High Life music different from funk. So George Darko was a pioneer in terms of Boga High Life. In actual fact, he's credited as the king of Boga High Life music. And of course, his early recordings had Lee Dodu as the lead vocalist. So, the songs are known as George Darko songs. But then the vocals
were Lee Dodu.
by Lee Dodu. So you wonder, why is George's voice different on this soundtrack? It's because Lee Dodu did the vocals on some of those songs. I think I met him when I was about 18 years, because I used to spend a lot of time with Charles Amoir at his Cage Studios in Awudome. And we got closer when he got signed on to Megastar record label in 1999, I believe. I think KKD was the general manager then, and I was always around. So, we got closer. Our names, having the same common surnames, and also our love for music and chieftaincy got us closer, and we maintained that relationship for a very long time. I think about 2 years ago, when I still served on the board of VGMA, we thought someone like him had to be honored.
Absolutely, which you did.
So we gave him the Lifetime Achievement.
Yes, I remember that
award. Other years, Ghana Music Awards, for his contribution to high life music over the years. It's such a major loss, and I think there's something we ought to do deliberately. Apart from a few of us who have had relationships with some of these people, their stories and lives are not well documented. I don't think that's good enough.
Yes.
We've lost the CK man, the Papa Yansons,
KK Kabobo last week.
And we're actually losing an era. But in terms of documenting what they did, how they got together, all these things, we're really missing out. And this is a major blow to Ghanaian music, actually.
Absolutely.
Hearing the news this morning was not too good.
Honestly, because it feels like the era is quickly moving away.
I know. I mean, just a couple of days ago, we lost the great KK Kabobo as well. And that's just the start of the year. In the first quarter, we're losing all these music greats. And we ought to be very intentional to document what they've done over the years as we have them around. We should not try and figure out how they got it done when they're gone, because it will be very impossible to get the right, accurate information on how they got things done.
And now looking at the influence that such artists have had over the young ones, do you feel some of the elements in new music today?
Not really. No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, occasionally you'd feel it, but because someone like Kwame Eugene has recorded like a Boga Highlight tune. And I mean, he makes it very obvious. He's one of the few people who actually refers to his music as highlights. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean, recently you saw that occasion when Amachi they put a crown on his head.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but most of the guys are not even identifying with Ghanaian music. They want to call what they do Afrobeat. Because Afrobeat has its roots and elements of highlight music as well, but they are not even looking at it from the Ghanaian point of view. And well, if we're not intentional, and if we decide to lose our roots, then it means that we won't even have much to say about our own music. And the sad thing is, when they are gone, nobody will remember them, because
that's the thing.
They did not even connect with the roots, what made Ghanaian music, what paved the way for them to get here.
So, by virtue, then we're losing on, should I say, the fundamentals, really, because at this point, if our formula is sort of changing to reflect a different sound, are we as a Ghanaian music industry facing a loss of our true heritage?
We have always, copied from outside. I mean, in actual fact, highlight music as it were, has elements of jazz music and it's a fusion of funk and everything from the onset, right from the onset. So the most important thing is having the basic rudiments and elements of highlife music in what we do. The guitar string, as it were, that sound should always be part of it. I mean, the cut, as we know now, it's become a global thing.
Yes.
You hear a Chris Brown song and you're hearing like elements of highlife music. You hear music from Jamaica, of course. They are like our brothers and sisters over there. But we have to be very intentional and stop copying what's coming from outside.
Wow. Well, KOD, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us.
A pleasure to speak to you.
And we'll come back to you on some more as the days unfold, and perhaps maybe we can actually put in place finally a fitting documentary of our history in the Ghanaian music industry.
We should. I mean, we still have some great people who are very knowledgeable. We have the child Amwas who are still around and still doing music. That they record, but their music they don't make it onto mainstream media. And I know someone like you is very intentional about what you play on air. That's why I listen to you.
Oh, thank you, KOD.
Well, you'd find very few people on radio who are doing the needful to project music from Ghana. And thankfully, we have someone like you doing your thing on radio. And it's such a pleasure to listen to you all the time.
Thank you so much, KOD. And thank you for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
And that was incredible, legendary on-air personality, MC of life, radio and TV, media mogul, I'd say, Kofi Darko, sharing some of his fondest memories, some of the history, and as well the impact of not only George Darko, but on his genre. He pioneered a Boga High Life on the Ghanaian music industry. We'll try and get through to a few